Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we're back here at Fred Beans Volkswagen in Devon, Pennsylvania to take a look at the brand new, totally redesigned and tech updated 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan. This is the SER line black, and right next to me I have two. On my right or your screen left, we have the 2024 Tiguan SER line black. On my left or your right, we have the new 2025 redesign on this vehicle. So we're going to go through it, and you can let me know if you like this design update or not, or would you prefer the 2024? So let's dig in. All right, as we move across both vehicles, we'll move on into the 24. Here is the front end of the 24 with the LED lighting, with the standard bulbs for turn signals, and we have the R-Line badge right there on the grille, as you would expect, but there is the front end look of the 24. Now we move over to the 25, and here we go. Check it out. It is much higher up. It's much more vertical than the 24, right? They tightened it up. They raised up the headlight housings. As you can see, both of them, the 24 right there on the left, the 25 on the right. Headlight housings are skinnied up, a little bit higher up on the front end. Full spread of LED lighting, including the fog lamp, turn signals on this one. Then as we come across the front, they've opened up the bottom part of the grille, right? VW badge in the middle. The R still on there, but on a much skinnier top part of the grille, as you can see. And then there's the bottom part. So anyway, what do you think about the front ends? And what do you like? Put it in the comments and let me know. Now, as far as the 2024 goes, we have gloss black aluminum alloy wheels, 19-inch in size, with Pirelli Scorpion Zero all seasons, right? 255, 45, 19 on the 24. As we come on over to our 25, even though this is the exact same trim as the 24, we're going to get a 20-inch gloss black aluminum alloy wheel VW badge on the center cap. Same brand though, Pirelli Scorpion Zero all-season tires, right? And then we're going to go 255 on the width 40 series sidewall 20s. And that's all four corners, and we're going to have all-wheel drive on this R-Line. Bringing on out. The sandstone is a new color for 25 with the R badge on the front, gloss black side view mirror caps, LED turn signals. We're going to go color match front and rear door handle, right side fuel filler cup up top. Wish they did a black roof. Well, because we have a black roof spoiler and then gloss black on your shark fin antenna and roof rails, would have liked to see them black out the roof here with the panoramic sunroof. And as we come around the back of this 2025, another big change, roof spoiler coming off the top wiper down below on the glass, full spread of LED lighting in the back. Now, if we contrast that, got to move around this sign in the parking lot, with the 24, as you can see, a much different look on the back of the 25 opposed to the 24. We'll go around here, give you another look at that. So they made a lot of changes on this vehicle, and they upgraded the power as well. So you let me think, well, what you think? Which one do you like better? Now we're under the hood of this 25 Tiguan SE R-Line Black. And I'm not going to open up both hoods on both vehicles because it's the same power plant. We have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The difference here is in 2024, we had 184 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. Now in 2025, we have 201 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. MPG's slightly better as well by about 1 mile per gallon. 22 in the city, 30 on the highway, and 25 combined. All right, before we get into the interior of this SER line Black Tiguan, you're going to know, Mike, how much? Well, base price increase from 24 to 25 is $875. So the 25 base price, $875 more than the outgoing 24. This particular SER line black for 25, the base price, like I mentioned, $36,955. We have a few options on this. We'll check out when we go through the window sticker once we add those in, and a destination and delivery charge of $1,425 from Volkswagen's Puebla, Mexico assembly plant. We have a total vehicle MSRP from the factory of $39,081. This is one step down from the top trim for 25 if you're interested in knowing about that. And this vehicle does not have an import fee attached. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a brief look at the interior on the 24 front and back, and then we're going to come over and do a more in-depth look at the 25 interior. But I wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of the 24 to start off with. Brief look at the interior on this 24. We have the door panel soft touch, the carbon fiber effect trim. We have the cross stitch, the soft armrest. As we come on in, you have the dual digital displays, but in this one, you have the 8-inch display. Of course, the new one gets 12.9. Dual climate, wireless charging pad, drive modes in this one. Wireless charging pad in here on the 24. The 25, they have it in a different spot. I'll show you that here in a second. And then, of course, you do have the haptic feedback buttons on the wheel with the R badge on the steering wheel. So that's a look at what the front of the 24 looks like. And here in the back, here is the back of the 24. And we're going to have USB connectivity with a 12 volt and kind of the same color combo in the back. All right, let's switch over to our 25. Driver door panel on the 25 Tiguan. We have the soft touch across the top, a different carbon fiber effect type trim in here than we had on the outgoing one. And then the stitching is straight across here on this gray insert, soft armrest, flat black on the switchgear, heated side view mirrors, good sized door pocket, pop the tailgate from the door, and then into the footbox on the 25, aluminum finish on the did pedal brake and accelerator with the carpeted Tiguan mats in here. Now, on the seating, full power for the driver with lumbar, manual assist front passenger, black and gray leatherette with stitching, bolstering very soft, headrests very soft. Front passenger door panel, same action as the driver, over to the dash, soft touch, and then this gloss black trim with a design in it, and then the silver trim into the heat and air vent. A different look than this front part of the dash on the outgoing 24 as they flattened it off and recessed the trim into the dash. And then we do have nice large glove box. Now, here is the updated 12.9-inch infotainment system, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. That doesn't change. The outgoing one with the 8-inch had wireless CarPlay, Android Auto as well. So, but you get the bigger screen now as the other one. And from here, you have your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger, just like the outgoing 2024. Neither one has a heated steering wheel. So that is probably a missed opportunity, I would think. And then on this one right here, we come on over. This is where all our apps are up here, where we can get to our radio media. Hopefully I have the volume down, where we have our sources right here. That's our HD radio right there. And then you have Sirius XM as well as Bluetooth music. So they got you covered with that. Then you have your nav. This isn't built in with nav, so all the maps and nav will come through your phone. Vehicle settings, app connect, hook the vehicle up with your smartphone. And then your parking right here, parking assist. There's your parking cameras, come on up. So we'll go back here, get rid of those. Vehicle settings, experience, and off-road. So here's your off-road pages right here. Driving dynamics, right? Hill descent control, if you want that on or off right there. Displays right here for your off-road. I don't know how many people are going to take this Tiguan off-road, but there you have it. Then you have your experience mode. Here's where your drive modes are, right? And we have Eco, Comfort, Sport, Custom, Off-road, and Snow. So I think for today, we'll stick with Comfort. Now here's your ambient lighting. You have infinity, eternity, desire, euphoria, vitality, and then a custom mode, or turn them off. And there you have that. And then you have your custom, where you can set up your color and set up your brightness. Or you go back to the preordained moods. Experience atmospheres. So basically these atmospheres give the car a different vibe. So let's say you want lounge. So that description means your ambient lighting is going to be purple. The volume inside the car is going to be quieter. They're not going to change the infotainment or the instrument cluster. But if you go to joy, the volume is going to be louder. If you go to energetic, the volume will be normal, but the infotainment system is going to off-road. If you go to energetic, you get a louder volume, sport instrument cluster, minimal, quieter, reduced, no change, and then me. And you can customize it. So they're actually like atmospheres of like the mood of the car as a whole. The sound, the lighting, what's displayed. That's what these atmospheres are. And we can go back to our home button and we're good to go. Now you have your home screen that you can configure overall. Now, if we go to reverse, there's our nice large backup camera with trajectory. Looks good. Back into park. And we're good to go. I think we spent enough time on that action. Down further, 2 heat and air vents, 4-way hazards. Now, as you remember, in the old one, you had the HVAC panel down here. Well, everything is up here now. So if you want to set your temperature and everything, it's all going to be in the screen. They've replaced that with 2 heat and air vents and 4-way hazards. And then down further, 2 cup holders. VW key fob is right here. Remote start, lock, unlock, pop the tailgate, panic button, VW on the back. And then you have a push button start. Here's your volume knob, and that is your parking brake. And then cup holder, or excuse me, an area for storage with 2 USB-Cs and a vertically mounted wireless charging pad in here. So since they redesigned this whole center stack, we're going to have the HVAC removed, and now the wireless charging goes from being in here underneath your HVAC panel to being in here. And then we have a nice soft armrest, and we open that up, and we have a area for storage underneath, and this actually moves forward or it moves backward, depending on where you want to have your arm. So right now we're going to zero in on this volume knob. Here's the volume. You can turn it up. You can turn it down using the dial like this. Or you can push it down, and now you're in drive modes, and you can adjust your drive modes from here. So a nice little piece of detail, a little Easter egg in this vehicle. Let me know your thoughts on that. We have an updated steering wheel for 25, leather wrap wheel with perforation, nice 10 and 2 notches, VW badge on the horn button, flat bottom wheel, but I have plenty of room to get in and out of this new Tiguan. But no more haptic feedback on the steering wheel. It's all regular push buttons, adaptive cruise on the left, volume, safety suite controls on the right, controls for the digital dash, voice commands, no paddles. On the left stalk, you're going to have your windshield wipers, turn signals, right? And on the right side, there is your gear shift. And then down on the left, control your lights from here. You want them off, on auto, on, parking light on, off, or back to auto. And we do have a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then the updated instrument cluster right here, super clear. There it is. And you can change stuff on the right. Decide what you want to have up there. There we go. No, let's not put navigation on because we don't have any navigation in here. Push average speed. And then we can move over to the left, decide what we want to have on here, about average fuel economy. And then we can move into the center and decide whether we want to have our speed or our gear display up in the center. Super clear though. Overhead console, SOS button in case there's an emergency on the road. Now, if you want to have your dome lighting come on off and you open and close the door, this button right here remains off. So when you open the door, lighting comes on, close the door, lighting will dim out. And then we have the haptic feedback buttons for the panoramic roof. On the right side is the shade. So you take your finger, move it back like that, and the shade will open. And you got to wait for it to get back. And it's going to go all the way back over the rear seat passengers. And then you can use the left haptic feedback button to open the glass. And there it goes. Wind buffer comes up, glass goes back. And then if you want to close it, same deal, finger, move it towards the front of the vehicle and close it. You want to tilt it, you got to push the middle part of that haptic feedback button. It'll tilt up, or you can close it and then all the way back. And believe it or not, this haptic feedback button up here works best with my thumb, not with my finger, which I think is interesting. Works every time perfectly if I put my thumb on it. But my finger, sometimes it doesn't work. That's interesting, right? Frameless rear view mirror with auto dim, sun visor with vanity, and an LED light. Does it slide? Yes, it does. Getting in the back of this 25 Tiguan, first the rear door panel though, same action as the front, right? With the soft touch, with the insert in lighter gray soft armrest. So I do like the consistency design front to back. Now I have the seat set for my driving position. We'll hop on in. Nice flat roof, and the rear seats sit about the same height as the front. So I got plenty of room to get in at 5'11", well over 6 foot. You'll be able to get in without ducking. And then we're going to have the leatherette all the way down, seat pocket behind the driver and the front passenger. In the back, 2 heat and air vents, place to throw some things, 2 USB-Cs, and rear seats uber comfortable in the back there. So soft, the leatherette with the two-tone and the stitching. And then armrest, semi-soft, 2 1/3 cup holders, but overall, a really comfortable place to be in the back of this Tiguan. Getting in the cargo area of this 25 Tiguan, well, we have a power liftgate. Pop from the key fob, pop from the driver door panel, or you come to the back and right underneath the VW badge, there's a button, you hit it, moves right up. Nice electric assist on the way up. Nice electric assist on the way down using this button. Now with the rear seats up, same as the outgoing 24, 37.6 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of this 25 Tiguan. Roadside assistance kit underneath here. Tools jack and a spare, so thank you VW for the spare. LED lighting in the back as well, with some cubbies for extra storage, and a 12 volt, and you can drop the back row from back here. You just pull that, down they go. Pull this lever, down the right side goes, and now, with the back row down and this boxy shape, 73.4 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of this Tiguan, and that's the same as the outgoing 2024. Window sticker time on this 25 Tiguan. Here we go, 25 Tiguan SE R-Line black sandstone gray. Standard features on the left, warranty information on the right. Sorry for the wind blowing this around. Again, warranty info, options, almost the same options as the outgoing 24. They're almost exactly equipped the same way, except they're different colors. MSRP $39,081. MPG estimates. Not rated by the government yet. Made by VW in Mexico. Take her out for a spin. All right, so we're on the road in this 25 Tiguan, and right off the bat, great visibility out of all the glass. No problem at all, including the rear view mirror. Nice large side view mirrors. Blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, pre-collision. All that jazz in here for safety. We have all the new tech, the new 12.9-inch system, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, heated seats, wireless charging pad, USB-C connectivity, front and back, as well as your head-up display, looking good. It's giving me basically my speed, the speed limit on the road. We have traffic sign recognition in this system as well, and it is super clear. And we got a nice selection of drive modes, and we got the atmospheres. we can go to in this vehicle to kind of give you a different vibe, maybe depending on your mood. Been a rough day at work, you put on your relaxing one. Maybe you're going out on a Saturday night, you put on the lounge atmosphere. So kind of a different flavor on car moods here in this 25 Tiguan, and I think that's kind of neat. It's kind of like a gimmick, sure, and it also has separate ambient lighting, so they give you both, which I think is pretty cool. Turning radius on this Tiguan now a little bit wider than the outgoing one that we saw in comparison, because that had 19-inch wheels, this has 20-inch wheels. So the turning radius increases from 18.5 feet to 19 feet in this Tiguan because of the bigger wheels. But you get more horsepower. And the vehicle picks up and gets down the road, no problem at all. Check our brakes. Brakes feel good. Stop on a dime. Now we're going to go ahead. But let's go to sport. And let's see how she does. Nobody's behind me. And you know what? It takes off a little bit better, but you know what? It handles beautiful. I mean, Volkswagens, they are smooth, they're refined on the suspension, and they handle beautifully. And this one is no different. You get a little body roll because it is not designed to be a sports vehicle, but it really does handle well. And a refined ride on this vehicle for sure. Unfortunately, we can't drive the 2024, but I did want to give you a look at the exterior and the interior of the 2024, just to kind of give you what the design change on the exterior and interior is like. So well, let me know what you think. Do you like this new redesign on the Tiguan? Some people have said to me the new Tiguan looks a lot like a new Toyota RAV4. You let me know what you think about that comparison, but I don't think that's a bad comparison since the RAV4 is the #1 selling SUV in the United States for the last few years. You know, over 400,000 units, almost 450,000 units sold on the RAV4 in 24. So if you're like, hey, this kind of looks like a RAV4, I think that's a compliment for this car. But it definitely does have the distinct German flavor, even though they really changed up the design on the exterior, modernized the interior. I like the way the interior is more modern. I love the way they updated the wheel to get rid of those haptic feedback buttons on the wheel. I do like the larger screen, but the thing I like from the 24 that opposed to the 25 is I like the fact that you had a separate HVAC panel right down here where you can control your heated seats and your climate control from here without having to reach up and do everything in the screen. So I did like that separation, and I did like the wireless charging pad underneath there rather than vertically mounted right next to my right leg. So there are some things in the interior of the 24 I like better, but there's undoubtedly this is a more modern take on the interior for the Tiguan and a more modern exterior look. So you let me know, which one do you like better? I know this has been a longer video, so I want to thank you all for sticking with me on this one. And you just let me know, what do you like this 25 Tiguan redesign? If you do, what do you like about it? If not, what don't you like about it? And would you buy this 25 over the 24? And would you buy this 25 redesigned Tiguan over a Toyota RAV4? You can put that in the comments as well. But I do want to thank Fred Beans Volkswagen here in Devon, Pennsylvania for allowing the channel access to their very first 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan. This is the SER line black trim with all-wheel drive and sandstone gray for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.